All right. How do we feel? So the Twins are once again committed to Emilio Pagan. They like his stuff. They like his process. I don't like the big home runs allowed personally. So
No.
where are we at with this?
Well, do you think his stuff is that good when you watch him? I don't.
Not
I
good
don't.
enough
I
to
think
not good enough to justify the gap in the results that we've seen the last
no,
two
no, it's
years.
not that good. And he won't challenge it. He knows his stuff isn't that good because he won't challenge anybody with any pitch until he's already screwed the game up, and then he challenges a guy on the first pitch and he hits it over the center field fence. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's just another guy, and why they brought him back, I really don't know. After that would have been like bringing back Alex Colomé 2 years ago, right? After he screwed up the entire season. This guy
Yeah.
screwed up your entire season, and you brought him back anyway. Go get somebody else for that kind of money. You didn't have to bring him back. It was
Well, but it's like I think they get so there's some organizations, the 49ers are a great example where they put a ton of capital into getting Trey Lance.
yes,
But then circumstances change, and a
mm-hmm.
year later, 2 years later, they're like, actually, Brock Purdy's going to be our quarterback, and Trey Lance, like they're able to remove their ego and the sunk cost away from it. I think the
Yes.
Twins get stuck sometimes on, well, we want to be right about the initial
Yes,
decision.
that's exactly right, and that's what's going on here. Well, you got a break. Okay, you fritter away $6 million. Okay, you flushed it down the toilet, but the fact that Taylor Rogers turned out to not be that good kind of saved that. We don't have to spend our whole life saying, and they gave up Taylor Rogers, because he didn't turn out. Halfway through the year, he went in the tank and he isn't back yet. I think he's on the DL now, but they won't. They won't admit that they're wrong about this guy, and they're wrong about him because he doesn't have it behind the left nipple. He doesn't have heart. He doesn't have guts. He doesn't. He's trying to. It's 3-2. The bases are loaded. You just walk the guy, and you're still going to try to hit that outside 1/8 of the plate. And here comes the run. Oh man, I know a lot of people hate him, and they should. He's a bum. He's one of the bums of the bullpen. Then the non-important innings he's pitched this year, we keep lauding him, and he has good stuff and all that. It's all horse manure, and he's just not. He'll be around, but why were they in such a hurry to hook De Leon yesterday? He a ground balls hit and two bloopy hits, and he was throwing good. And they hadn't seen him, and he was throwing good. What was the hurry to go get this idiot?
He
out of the
almost
bullpen.
had an immaculate inning, Pat. Provis was saying he struck out the first 3 on 6 pitches, and he said the first 2 on 6 pitches, and he goes, he's 3 away from an immaculate inning, and then he gives up 2 little singles, but
he had 2 outs, and then he gave up 2 little hits, but they weren't anything. And okay, you look out there, and Emilio's warmed up. Well, so what? Let this guy try to get the 3rd out. We don't want him. We don't like him. Okay, don't give him to us.
How are you 5 for 40 with the bases loaded is my question. No outs again. They're 0 for 9 with no outs.
0 for 9 with no outs. 0 for 9 with no outs. Somebody walked with the bases loaded, but outside of that, they're 0 for 9. I announced today on Twitter, next time they load the bases with no outs and don't score, David Popkin should be fired. And my theory is
middle of the game.
My theory, right there, right now, you're done. Pack it up. My theory is irrational action, irrational outcomes have to be followed by irrational decisions, right? I mean, it makes no sense, but we're going to fire you anyway because these clowns can hit a fly ball. So yeah, just fire him. Yeah, okay, you're done. Right, 5th inning, march him out.
It is weird. It is. I mean, it's 5 for 40. It is very. How many of those are strikeouts? By the way, do we know?
Oh God, yeah.
I could probably look that up. Declan, why don't you look that up?
And you knew when Polanco had that at bat, he was not healthy. I mean,
Is he ever going to be healthy?
No.
Is he ever going to be
I don't
healthy?
know. He was good for a week. He came back. He'd been rehabbed. He was good for a week, but his legs are not underneath him in the field at the plate. You can see his legs are not underneath him. He's going on the DL again, and who knows? Tendonitis in the knees, same thing as Buxton. And Buxton is obviously playing and stealing bases and looking much healthier than Polanco does. But I thought for 5-6 days he looked pretty good. But the last week there's nothing. He doesn't have any foundation when he's hitting. You can see that. So, and Julien will be second base when they play the Angels on Friday, I would guess. And I looked him up. He's still got the plus 400 on base percentage when he's with the Saints. I mean, he's an on base percentage machine. He's not a great second baseman, but I think he's try him as your leadoff hitter instead of Joey. Maybe Joey is they got a bunch of runs with Joey let off, but try this guy as your leadoff hitter. Why not? Let's see. You don't have one.
And then does Royce so let's say starting in June, does Royce come in and just hold down third base?
Yes.
That the rest ideally for the rest of the season if he plays?
And then Kyle Farmer is your extra player. But Dick Gordon's gone for 2 months now or something, broke his shin.
Yep. So
on that foul ball.
Yeah.
He was walking around on that foul ball, and I kept having this thought, go, go, go. He looks like Go, Go, Gomez, here. He was, but I'm glad I didn't say anything on Twitter about that because he ended up with a broken leg. So anyway, broken shin. So he's out.
He kind of came around last year for a little bit, but, and he wasn't, I think he was actually one of Terry Ryan's last couple.
Yes.
Not that Terry's the one hand selecting these guys, but that's one that we don't talk about a lot. It's one thing if you're the 30th pick in the first round. Yeah. He was the fifth overall pick back in 2014, and he's basically getting, what is he now, 28, 27, and he's basically giving you a kind of a solid utility season last year. That's it.
He did have a couple of years of illness too, right? Didn't he?
Yeah, he's had some
sick
issues.
for a couple of years. He's had some weight. He's a skinny. I mean, he's not bad to have on your team, but he's not a. The problem now is he obviously the manager obviously does not like Michael Taylor as a hitter because was playing Gordon a lot in center field, and now your backup center fielder is Willie Castro. So good luck. Unless they're going to play Gallo out there some, I don't know, because they might. I would guess they're also going to they might DL they're going to DL somebody else too, right? Who else is hurt? Somebody.
They just
fouled the ball off his
Kepler out.
Gallo will be okay.
Shin last night.
Yeah, but they got to bring. I guess they got to bring Kepler back here pretty soon, right? Yeah. There was a rumor out that Kepler didn't want to go to California. I don't know why, but that can't be it. But they were
right, like he just
didn't. I don't know. I don't know if there's
politically
problems out there or something. I don't know what the hell it is, but
got some skeletons in the closet out there. Perhaps?
Yeah, I don't know. He's spent times out there in the winter. I don't know what's going on. What's going on? But that was probably that's probably just some crazy thing floating around. But what the heck? This is Mackey and Judd. Let's throw it out there. See what's going on.
It is Reckless Speculation Thursday here too, Pat. So
exactly right.
Reckless speculation. Why does Kepler not want to go to California? That's
651-646.
Never too old. Hey, so we have not even broached the topic of the guy that you called me about yesterday during the game, Carlos Correa.
Ungodly. What is going on those breaking pitches? He missed 3 breaking pitches yesterday. I declared that first one he missed that he struck out on to have shattered the franchise record held by Miguel Sano. And I'm talking all the way back to 1902 in Washington.
Oh, the Senators too. Okay.
For how far he missed the ball. Did you see that, Phil? It was a breaking ball in the other batter's box.
It was very Michael Kadire. It was Michael Kadire has a few of those on the leaderboard.
Yes. But Then he takes a down the middle fastball, strike three, doesn't flinch. So obviously he's now guessing on everything. And then his last at bat that he missed two more breaking pitches by a foot?
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? Is he that? I never deemed him to be this ungodly guess hitter. So he has no faith in him in himself right now, because he's guessing at every. I mean,
it's a little tougher when you don't know what's coming. Tougher when you don't know what's coming.
Takes a fastball down the middle, strike three, and then he misses three breaking balls by a combined 7 feet. It was unbelievable. I don't know what's wrong with him. It's pathetic. He did get one hit, so but that was an accident. I don't know. I mean, what do you think? What do you guys think? I mean, he can't be this rotten.
I don't. It's hard because I don't think he's had a stretch like this in his career yet. He's never been. A lot of his value has been just being a great defensive shortstop and a solid hitter. So he's never. So I guess if you're not like a diehard baseball fan that watches the nuances of how a shortstop operates, then you might think, oh, how is he making $36 million? He's not flirting with batting titles or home run titles, but he's always been solid and consistent. I don't think he's ever had a stretch like this where he just can't even hit 200 for 7 weeks.
No, it's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. And I don't think it has anything to do with an ankle injury 8 years ago either. It's just something. He looks great at shortstop. He made that play in the hole the other night, 2 nights ago, out on the grass. And, who makes that play? That throw he made from out there, his throwing arm's unbelievable. But, okay, come on, let's do some action here. Hit him 8th, right? You got to say, okay, Carlos, we can't put up with this. You can't.
He's still playing on that in the Twins world. He hasn't sat out games. A year ago, he would have been sat down on a couple of occasions. Hey,
stop pampering it. Stop saying, you're going to hit third. Okay, you couldn't do it at second. We're going to bat you third. Put him 8th. Let him hit down there with the fat little catcher, who's god awful too, by the way. He's overrated. But
no home runs yet.
Put him down there next to him. And the bottom of the order would be, Taylor's not much of a hitter either. But I don't have a problem with Taylor. He can put the ball in play once in a while. And anyway, it was they played pretty good that whole series. Really, they could have won the game 1, and they played real good 2 days ago, and then they were good. They couldn't get any hits, left the bases loaded, nobody out, of course, as we talked about. But they had a chance to win that game until they used the bullpen like idiots. So anyway,
it kind of feels like if they can keep at least 3 of these starting pitchers, and I'm going to start to include Bailey Ober too, because I think we have enough sample over a few years when Bailey Ober's healthy. He's a really good starting pitcher. They can hang with anyone with these starting pitchers. I was watching over the other day, and he didn't have a good breaking ball at all. I didn't think, especially early. But he throws from up here. He's not up on top. He's over here. But there's something about being 6'9" that causes an optical illusion or something, because they swing at a ball this high out of the zone a lot. The good hitters that don't chase that pitch, they chase it with him. Must be where it comes out of his hand. They're used to seeing a ball go someplace when it comes out of somebody's hand, and when it comes out of a 6'9" guy's hand, it's 4 inches higher than they're used to, because a lot of guys are swinging. He got a big strikeouts on high fastballs up above the zone, which was interesting to me. But I think he's a competitive son of a gun, don't you? I mean, he just got that look about him. So I think he's fine. But the question becomes, and I think you brought it up last week, Phil, is he's never pitched 100 innings, right? So not in the major leagues. I guess I'd have to add up like his minors. I mean, he's made 36 career starts over the 3 years, and then you sprinkle in a handful in AAA too. But it's also hard when you're 6'9". This was the problem with Alex Meyer back in the day, and he wasn't. He was more probably 6'6" or 6'7". I want to say maybe 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
Can you stay healthy and repeat your delivery, as they say?
He does seem to have that arm slot that he can repeat all the time. I mean, I did a piece on him in spring training. Oh, it was only a couple. He kind of popped out of nowhere. Remember that one year he had his statistics in the minor leagues were ungodly. It was like you know, 3 hits in 9 innings or something. All the innings he was pitching, and then he was not a big prospect when they signed him, and he's been fine. And Louis okay too. Louis competitive.
You know who Bailey Ober reminds me of a little bit is about 15 years ago. The Texas Rangers had a 6'10" right-handed starter named Chris Young.
Yes,
you guys remember him?
He had a long career.
He didn't. I don't think if I remember, I don't think he was throwing 99 miles an hour. But but when you have this sort of praying mantis, 6'9", 6'10" frame coming at you, and it throws you off as a batter. The ball is coming out closer optically, and the angles are different.
I think he's a general manager, isn't he? Somewhere now
with Texas.
I think. With the Rangers.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, how weird is baseball this year? Phillies stink. Mets stink. San Diego stinks. Baltimore's good. Pittsburgh. What's going on? It's upside down.
The Cardinals are like 10 games under 500.
Although they've won like 8 out of 10 now, so they're out of their coma. Out of their coma, but it's upside down. I was talking. Tim Kirkagin called me yesterday to talk about some stuff, just BSing, and I was saying, "What's going on, Timmy? The good teams are bad, and the bad teams are good." It's
you know what it is, Royce?
Really strange.
It's a crazy league. That's what it is.
Yeah, but it never has been. It never has been a crazy league before. So it's generally speaking, if you're really, I mean, Toronto's mediocre compared to what they were supposed to be. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, which is fun, which is good. But what would it take to get Emilio released? What do you think? How many more times does he have to do this?
Dude, it is so. I don't know. It's ego at this point. It's definitely ego, and I think in terms of like actually blowing games, I think the like if you want to go official blown saves or blown leads late or whatever, whenever he comes in, it's like 10 or something over the last 2 years. I don't think it would have put him in the playoffs last year, but this year it could if you don't distance yourself from Cleveland and you got 5 or 6 of these things hanging over your head.
I think there's a little tension there too with some of the stuff going on because about once a month I'll text a quip to Rocco, just out of nowhere, just because I don't abuse the privilege, okay? But I texted him the other 2 nights ago. I said, Moran is going to take years off your life when he came in because he was, 2-0 right away. Then he gets them off. Didn't get a response, so I think they're nervous there. Usually I get Usually about a day later, I'll get a just a 1-sentence response. But I think maybe there's a little tension.
So on Reckless Speculation Thursday, you are reporting right now that there is tension in the Twins clubhouse. Potential dissension among the decision makers. This is fantastic.
Yes. Well, that could be, but I guess I'm reporting that I'd like to know what are his teammates? Correa is the leader, and we give him this special place in the world, and he's so good for everybody. What are his teammates thinking when they're walking in there saying, "What the? You're making 20 million or 30 million? Come on, buddy, do something." Yeah. What do they think? He's killing them. It's incredible how rotten he is, and it's last year he saved his season by the last 6 weeks he was good, but it's this is worse. This is way worse than anything he was last year. It's just pathetic. I think he's feeling bad. I think he had to come back here with his tail between his legs. Don't you?
I think they say happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, maybe she doesn't like Minnesota. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she doesn't like Minnesota.
Not enough Dior stores in Minnesota.
Yes,
he ain't true. Dior no more, baby.
No, he ain't Dior. He's Marshall.
Old Navy.
He's Marshall's downtown and it's closed down on the corner, and they closed the damn place. So anyway, how about Jimmy Butler, man? Unbelievable. Is he going to take him to the finals?
At this point, yes. To win game 1 in Boston like that.
Boston. He goes and gets 36. You know, I listened to the post game. For some reason, I read across the post game coaches things. And Spoelstra might be one of the coolest dudes in America, man. Mm-hmm. Plus, he still looks like he's 38. You know, he's obviously putting some stuff in his hair, but he's so smart. He answers every question. And then this kid from the Celtics is like mumbling out answers and doesn't, he got the job by accident. And it is one thing Miami's got in their favor, I would say, is a coaching mismatch. I still kind of like Boston with Tatum, but I don't know.
Pat Riley cloned himself. It's this thing.
But this guy is more affable than Pat Riley. Yes. Pat Riley was an egomaniac, and this guy might be, but he doesn't show it.
All right, here's a column idea for you, Pat. All right, I think we've given you like 3 of these over the years, okay. So take it if you want to. So heat culture is a very pronounced thing over the last 20 years. Udonis Haslem, there's an interview online somewhere where Udonis Haslem lays out like what heat culture means, and it's mostly just like playing your ass off and being accountable and things. What is Timberwolves culture?
That's a great column, actually.
I've described Timberwolves culture. Even when they do the right thing, it's the wrong thing. That's the Timberwolves culture. Somehow this looks okay, but it's going to be screwed up. By the way, here's the Timberwolves culture. You got a guy that you're paying more than any other general manager in the NBA who came in and made the craziest trade in NBA history, and now won't tell you that he's dedicated to staying here for the rest of his career. That's Timberwolves culture. Now that I screwed you up, I'm going to get the hell out of here. Okay. Timberwolves culture is David Kahn coming on the Mackey and Ricey show and saying, yeah, we think Malik's going to be pretty good because he promised us he's going to smoke less marijuana. Yep. So that's the culture. Not smart. That's the culture.
I love it. All right, Pat. We will see you tomorrow here on Royce.
Okay. See you, Jets.
All right. Presented, by the way, by our friends at Power Lodge and Miller Marine. You want to talk about culture, all right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Bennington pontoon culture is relaxation. It's therapeutic during these summer months. And Power Lodge is the biggest Bennington dealer in the entire country. Judd Zolgad.
2 words for you, Phil Mackey. Throttle therapy. That's right. Look at that. Just get out there on the water on a gorgeous day. Summers are short, right? But it allows you time to relax, decompress, get away from the stress in your life, which includes most Minnesota sports teams. Throttle therapy on your Bennington.
PowerLodge.com and MillerMarine.com presenting Royce Unchained.